All right. Hello, everyone. Looks like I'm live. Welcome. Thank you all so much for being here. Give me just one second. How is everyone doing today? I know a lot of us are probably a little disappointed with the Hunter Biden verdict. We'll definitely take a look at that. Before we get into readings, I'll be doing political and current event questions. I will be on with Susan Lynn tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. And I have a show with Mel on Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern. So, got lots of politics going on. So, if I don't answer your question today, please check out those videos. Please subscribe. Please hit the thumbs up. Really appreciate all of that. If anybody would like a reading or a Reiki session, you can schedule that on my website, kevinslovingvibrations.com. I believe I'm booked up for June, but I have some openings in the beginning of July. So been pretty busy and booking up pretty quickly. So if that's something that you've been wondering or wanting to do, like I said, I've been booking up pretty quickly and further out in advance. So, all right, let's take a look at your questions. Um, we'll start off with Hunter Biden, but let me just see. You know what? I think actually I'm going to wait on Hunter Biden for just a moment for more people to join. But I'll just say for what I was thinking with it, or some intuitive hits that were coming through for me, I I had said I felt like it was a bit of a journey for him. He was going to push through and get through it. Um, I do feel like there's more energy of him having a harder time with the tax case. I think that that's later on this year. But I was almost kind of thinking too that maybe it was a bit of a mistake on his lawyer's part not to put him on the stand, because I almost feel like had he went on the stand, the jury would have had sympathy for him, and I almost feel like there would have been a hung jury. Um, but I'm not necessarily picking up. I know that they're saying that he could have up to 25 years of prison time. I'm not really picking that up. I had said before, I feel like he may get some probation. There may be some fines there. I'm not even picking up on jail time. So I don't want you all to worry about Hunter Biden. I feel like he's going to be okay. Um, but I'll throw some cards on him. And like I said, let's get more people in before I throw cards. Um, what else? I find it very interesting though that it's not going to play well for the MAGAs and the Republicans attack saying that the DOJ is politicized. I think some of the Republicans are already coming out now saying that Biden and his DOJ are using Hunter as a scapegoat to make it look like they're not being political. I mean, it's crazy. Um, there may be some people in the middle, independent people that have maybe thought that some charges were politicized, but I think this clearly shows that it's not. And there's other Democrats that DOJ's, um, press charges against, indicted. So let's see. I hadn't seen the Dr. Phil and Trump interview, but I've never personally been a big Dr. Phil fan, Ness. Who said that he would not get probation, Valeria? I mean, I don't want to say that it's politically motivated, but when you have a special counsel, I mean, these charges wouldn't have been brought had it by themselves. if he would have had violent, um, crime, if he had done violent crimes and he was an addict with a gun, then maybe they would have added those on. But they don't typically charge that alone. So I do believe that special counsel was getting a lot of slack from Republicans for making a deal with him, and then we know that plea deal fell through. So I do feel like in that sense it was politically motivated. I don't really want to get into all of that because the other side will say the same thing, but all right. Yeah, that's true, Anne. He says it's best that Hunter got the guilty verdict. He did what he did, right? And also, fake Fox and all the GOP cannot say it was rigged. Joe accepted it, unlike 45. Yeah, I agree. The MAGA cult's not going to accept it, but some people in the middle may. I also think, though, if Hunter were to get jail time, which I'm not picking up, I don't know if Biden would give him a pardon before the election. I know he said that he would not pardon him, but if he won re-election, I mean, what's he going to have to lose? So, but yeah, I definitely pick up Biden's not very happy right now. We may see dark Biden really going against some of these Republicans. I've never felt Trump fleeing. I know others have said that they feel he'll flee, but I feel like he's being too closely watched. I can only share what I've picked up. But no, I do not see him fleeing to another country. I've always felt like that's his last ditch effort to, like, if he's really desperate and needs to, but I feel like he's being too closely watched. Like, it wouldn't happen. Plus, as we can all see, um, he's got some health challenges. He's not in good health. Oh, thank you, Ness. Yeah, we had a really powerful members Reiki healing session last night. And thank you for the compliment. Yeah, I agree, Ian. I think Hunter Biden gets probation and fined. I'm on the same page with you. I'm not picking up jail time. Right? Are they gonna go after Don Jr.? Because we all know that he likes to use substances and he's a big gun lover. So all right. Well, we have 500 people watching now. So let's start off with Hunter Biden. I'll throw some cards. I want to say thank you, Billy S, for the super chat, and Veronica. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. Blessings to both of you. All right, let's take a look. How's Hunter Biden doing? What's the energy around him? I think he was planning on taking the stand, and last minute his lawyers told him not to. So maybe that's why the energy shift. Because I believe other psychics had said that they didn't feel he was going to be guilty, or like I said, even with him being guilty, I'm not feeling a prison sentence. To me, it feels like probation. All right. What's going on with Hunter Biden? He very well could appeal it too, you guys. I still see him fighting, so there may be an appeal. He's got a lot of people around him working hard. He's got the Eight of Cups, so he's trying to do well. He's trying to walk away from the baggage of his past, and head in a new direction. And he's been trying to do that for a while. Um, I do feel like in the end he's going to be victorious. He's strong here with the strength. So he's got that fight in him, and I see him continuing to kind of fight. He's a lot of people are attacking against him, but he's got that strength to kind of ward off. There is a bit of a holdup with the hangman here. So if this would be like a delay for the sentencing, and then like an appeal, I do feel like there's delays coming in with it. But final outcome, hope and dreams being fulfilled. So I do feel like he's okay. It does feel like there's a bit of I don't think all this stress is probably very good for his mental health. I'm not saying I feel like he's going to relapse, um, but it looks a little bit cloudy, a little bit murky. But in the end, it's all going to be okay. It's a bit of like a waiting game, though. Like I said, I've Ace of Pentacles, maybe a fine. I'm not getting a lot of stress. I'm not getting a lot of swords or the Tower, any of my jail cards. So I feel like it feels more like it's like a fine that he has to pay. Like I said, he may get some probation too, but I feel like he's going to be okay. He's very strong. He's got a lot of family and support around him helping him through this. Like I said, I feel like the case that is probably going to be the toughest is probably the tax case. But even for that, I'm not necessarily picking up on jail. I mean, the good thing is Hunter Biden's not running for president either. So I don't really see it affecting his father at all, although it's a shame that he was targeted because he's the president's son. But I see Hunter Biden being okay. Yes, thank you to all the moderators. I really appreciate everything that you do. So hang in there, everyone. It's going to all be okay with Hunter. Yes, and if you're going to send a question, please send it in all caps if possible. So it sticks out. Yeah, absolutely, Sharon. That's what I said. Right. Like I said, Hunter Biden's not running for president. So, he wasn't in a very good place. He made some mistakes. He's not perfect. He's trying. The important thing is that he's learned from those mistakes. He's trying to better himself and his family. All right. I don't really see the whole Hunter Biden thing really affecting voters very much. Like I said, he's not running for president. If anything, it's like I said, it's probably a good thing for those in the middle that thought that maybe Trump was being targeted because he was running for president. I mean, it's pretty clear that the DOJ is going after everybody that broke the law. So they'll try to make it about Biden, but I mean, the Republicans have been trying to make it about Biden in the House for how long now? Going to impeach him. They don't know what they're impeaching him on. That's why they're investigating. I mean, give me a break. Yeah, I saw Hunter did pay all the taxes. and fines too. Yep. Oh, interesting. Cece said jury initially deadlocked, but no politics came into play. Jurors commenting, original ruling 6-6 deadlocked with 11 to 1. One juror was alone holdout, then flipped. Juror Hunter should not get jailed. And that's what I was saying though too. Like I think originally he was planning on taking the stand, and I do think that the jury would have had compassion for him, and you know, from his past mistakes, and I almost feel like maybe they wouldn't have flipped. And I think that that was originally the plan, so maybe that's why the energy shifted a little bit. I had read on this, will Netanyahu show up live or on Zoom to speak to Congress? Will Dems attend? I read on this, I think, last week. I'll throw a card or two. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on it, but I don't feel him showing up. I know that Republicans invited him. If he were to come, I do feel like there would be a lot of people out protesting. I mean, he's got a mess. He's got a lot of people in Israel protesting against him. And I think that there would be some Democrats that showed up, but not a whole lot. All right. Will Netanyahu show up in Congress? No. I had the Four of Swords fly out, which is retreating, resting. Temperance. So I don't feel like it would be anything super. Yeah, negative judgment. I don't see it, you guys. And if he does, like I said, he's going to know that he's not very well liked in Israel or here. So I don't see that. Do you see any big earthquakes for the Seattle area? Worried a bit. Don't be worried, Catherine. Follow your intuition with it. I do feel like there's a couple earthquakes going on the West Coast. I'm not sure if it's Seattle. I think to me, it feels like it's a little bit more south. And I do feel California having a decent size shaker. But, the message with that and with all of the disasters and all that is never to scare anybody. I think it's a good reminder that to make sure that we're prepared. If something doesn't feel quite right and you're getting that insight to, go on a weekend getaway, getting away from home, or just making sure that you're supplied and stocked up on things in case there is some kind of incident. I think that that's the important thing. But you shouldn't live your life in fear. Follow that intuition, manifest that protection around you, around your community. I don't know about Seattle specifically being hit, Catherine, but I do feel a couple on the West Coast. I did hear that Trump might lose his liquor license in, is it New Jersey or is it in New York? I think it was his golf course, wasn't it? I've said for a while, I do not feel good about Donald Trump's health. Timing of soon is always hard to to pinpoint, but I kind of feel he's been unraveling, but the summer is not going to be good for his health. And it does feel like it's a major health event. Yeah, I feel like Trump's probation officer will be safe, Sharon. With Cannon dismissing one charge, will Smith bring the charge in New Jersey now? I've always said I feel like there is multiple charges with um, the documents case. And New Jersey feels right. I don't know if it's right now though, Edie, but I do feel like there's more charges um, outside of Florida. But I've always said I feel Cannon's going to be leaving here sometime this summer. Jack Smith is going to go up to the 11th Circuit appeals, and I see her being removed. Cozy mystery writer. Will Ohio turn more blue overall this election? Yeah, my county's red. It's not super red, but I see it coming a little bit more towards the middle, but I still see it red leaning, or like a red tilt cozy mystery writer. But I feel like in the sense of Sherrod Brown, our senator, winning re-election, it stays blue. So yeah, some people are getting tired though, heading in a different direction. There is a turning point for Ohio, I think, going more blue, but it's slow and steady progress to go to blue. So I don't think 2024, but maybe the following election, it being more competitive. All right. I don't know about indictments coming this week, but I've always felt, well, we're in June now. May felt like it was a pretty significant month, I think, with the trial. June, July feels like it's big. I've always felt August and September feeling big too. So I wouldn't be surprised if more indictments come, but I don't know about this week, Donna. Doesn't feel like it's too far out. All right. Tammy Baldwin. Can somebody in the chat tell me who the Republican that's running against Tammy is? I feel Tammy's going to win. I feel Wisconsin saying blue. Sorry, you guys. There was a fly that just flew in my face and it startled me. Oh yeah, Trump was a mess at his Nevada rally, saying that he didn't really care about his supporters, or just with the heat and everything. He just cared about their vote. He's actually, I don't feel like he thinks very fondly of his supporters. They kind of gross him out. He views them as dirty and less than, but they're easy to manipulate. So, well, thank you for becoming a member, MJ. I appreciate that. I'm way behind in the chat, and we almost have 900 people watching. Thank you all so much. I did read on Hunter Biden, if you're just now joining, at the very beginning. I'm just going to throw a card for Tammy Baldwin. Let me get caught up with the chat. Phyllis, thank you for becoming a member. I appreciate that. If you guys like, you can watch my Reiki video yesterday that I did for the members. You have access to that energy whenever you'd like. Eric Poovdi. Thank you, Phyllis. I got a woman with a government position, her hopes and dreams being fulfilled. So to me, it feels like it's Tammy Baldwin with the Queen of Cups. Demetrius Mack, thank you for becoming a member. Appreciate that, you guys. Thank you. Is I didn't hear about this on the news, but I think I vaguely heard something about, is there another French election coming up with Macron? Or do they just have the elections? Because I think I heard something about with the EU, you know, and the far right getting some more power, but not taking over. I don't really understand how that all works. So, but is there a French election coming up? I just read on the Wisconsin Senate state. Tammy Baldwin, I see her winning. Oh, they have 2 more rounds to go. Okay. I don't know what a snap election is, but we'll see. Oh, we have victory coming out as I'm just shuffling. That can be a bit of a battle, though, too. People wanting to kind of start war. See a lot of people working really hard to get the voting efforts out. The Wheel of Fortune, so there's good luck, destiny coming in, and a lot of resources, I think, going for this election. I'm getting partnership and like a prominent female coming in. I know that in the past, I believe that there was a female on the far right, but I'm not picking up her energy. But yeah, like it's so important, I think, especially with all the wars going on, to keep keep Europe all together. I see the world watching, and positive action being taken. So I'm not feeling, like I said, I'm not sure exactly how that all works, but it doesn't feel like it's negative or like the tower or anything like that. It feels like it's pretty good. It does feel like maybe it's a little bit closer. So maybe some of the far right getting some more power, but I feel like, good will prevail. All right. Oh, it's for the cabinet, not the presidency. Thank you, Jackie. Everybody else knows what's going on. I'm going to have to research and look into that a little bit more. But Texas grid, please. Saying rolling blackouts. Oh, and I did feel, I don't know. I don't feel the best about Texas. I've said I feel like there is a lot of flooding, and I've often felt like maybe there's a storm off the Gulf. Doesn't feel like it's catastrophic, but it feels like a lot of flooding, and like the infrastructure in Texas being challenged. But I felt like ultimately, because of how Abbott and the Republicans handle it, I feel like it could be the thing that tilts Texas purple in 2024. But I do feel some problems with Texas and the power grid. I'm sorry to say, Rose Blue. I'm sure it's really hot down there too. I believe that they just had a is there a bunch of storms going on in Texas right now too? All right, you guys. Hey, Clarence. I heard that Trump's meeting with the probation officer was really brief. The issue is that, when it comes to his sentencing, Trump is not going to be apologetic. Um, I mean, he continues to attack the judge, um, the prosecutor, the witnesses. He continues to violate the gag order. So I do feel at some level like he's not going to just get away with it. Now, I've never felt jail time for him specifically, but we know as it gets closer to the sentencing, he's going to continue to unravel and have a fit about it. So I feel like Mershon coming in and being a bit tough with it. He's going to appeal whatever he gets. Like I said, and I don't necessarily feel jail. Or if they give him jail, it's not until after the election. Because I feel like that's the fear. They don't want to make it look like they're interfering with the presidential election. Um, but I feel Mershon being tough and like having enough with him. Yeah, I do see Texas eventually being kind of, and I believe that they are just like independent with their own grid, their power grid, and I see them being hooked to the national grid. I think it might take a few years, but yeah, Texas is very hot. Yeah, and I thought I heard a lot of thunderstorms in the south. Maybe that's more Florida. Yeah, unfortunately, it's going to be a very active hurricane season. I feel like in the Gulf, but also like on the East Coast, Florida, I definitely will be impacted some. Yeah, we read on Hunter Biden, Rabia. Will Andy Kim win the U.S. Senate seat in New Jersey? Let's take a look. I definitely feel Menendez is out. I believe the governor's wife was running and she dropped out, and I feel like she probably would have won had she not decided to get out of the race. Let's take a look at Andy Kim. All right, Andy Kim. Yeah, I do feel like it's going to be a bit of a fight, but I see him winning for sure. Yep, he's got the Nine of Wands coming out, so this is pushing through. Um, it's being victorious, but feeling a bit battle weary because it's a bit of a fight. He's got a new beginning happening for him, taking a leap of faith, and he's the magician, so he's got all the tools at his disposal. Is it a male on the Republican side that he's running against? Because I feel like he's a bit ruthless in his energy, so probably like on the MAGA side. Um, and it's like the support, I think, with the financing doesn't feel like it's right, but there is victory. The sun, he's in power and control, and he's victorious. And I think it might be a little bit closer than what it should be, and I guess if Menendez is running as an independent, that might push it a little bit closer. But I see Andy Kim winning. It feels like it stays split. Hey, Jane the Seeker, good to see you. I told you guys I didn't feel Trump doing a drug test for his probation office video. I think I said that last week. Yeah, because it was just a video call. I do feel Hunter Biden will get probation. I'm not picking up jail time. I don't feel that the jury was influenced by Trump's convictions at all. From what people are saying in the chat, there was somebody that was a holdout. And that's why I said he should have taken the stand. I feel like they would have had a lot of sympathy for him, and I felt like maybe a hung jury there. Yeah, I heard about that earthquake in New Jersey. And I feel like they've had some activity since then. Doesn't feel like it's anything major though. Do they know? Does anybody know? Do they do drilling, fracking in Jersey? Because I know that that can cause some earthquakes. Well, there's probably fault lines that go through there too. Anyway, I'm not picking up anything major for earthquakes on the East Coast. I do feel I've told you guys for a while though, 2024, the storms, the weather, even earthquakes and volcanoes. It feels like it's a very active year with us shifting and the earth shifting. Yes, please do me a favor. Please hit that thumbs up. Please subscribe. Help me get to 15,000 subscribers. I would appreciate any help to get there. We're getting close. I think we're less than 500 away from it. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Barbara. Power grid being bad in Texas. Yeah. I see some trouble with the infrastructure, but it feels like I feel like once Abbott is out, a lot of money and resources being put into Texas's infrastructure. All right. Um, Hill Harper wasn't there a woman running in the Senate race that's well known, like more of a moderate? I don't know if this is for a state race, um, but I feel like the federal race, it's that woman. I can't think of her name off the top of my head. All right. I do see the US going more towards like a universal health care, but it feels like it's a while off still. Um, it's like Medicare for all kind of thing. I'm feeling like it's probably a good 8, 10 years out. It's a while out, but I do see it being universally available for everybody. All right. Sorry, you guys. I'm gonna have to start putting slow mode on. It's hard to keep up with the chat. Yes, fracking and fault line in New Jersey. Yeah, it feels like it's a combination of both. Yeah, I've read on it too. I do feel Pete Buttigieg being very active in Biden's second term. And I think if Kamala were to take over, I see Pete Buttigieg as a VP and very well could be a president. It's a little while out, but um, I also feel like after he might be Secretary of State in Biden's second term. I feel energy around that. And I feel energy around him being a VP pick at some point too. But Pete Buttigieg is still pretty young, so he's got a long political career ahead of him. Slotkin, thank you. I see Slotkin winning the Michigan race. I do feel like the House GOP will try to bring up contempt charges against Garland, but I don't see again what they impeached Mayorkas. The Senate's not going to take him up. It's not going to be. He's not going to be removed. I mean, it very well could be like the same thing for Bragg, and I heard that they were harassing Fani Willis again about turning over all of their evidence. With those, though, it's they don't really have a case there because it's like the separation of the state um, laws. But yeah, I see them trying to bring up contempt charges. Like I said, Garland's going to stay in there. I see Garland actually stepping down in Biden's second term. I'm not the biggest Garland fan. I wish he would have acted a little bit sooner, um, but I felt like maybe Lisa Monaco might be the next AG. Thank you, Rabia. I appreciate that. Oh, Trump first debate. I feel like it. I feel like he's going to make an excuse not to debate at all. If there is a debate, it's the first one. I don't see two debates happening. But I'm almost feeling like no, he'll come up with excuses to get out of the debate. I hope he does debate though, because I think he'll be a train wreck. Talking about being afraid of sharks and rather being electrocuted and crazy stuff like that that has nothing to do with it. I mean, I don't I think something like a debate would really show how unstable and how whacked out he is. I mean, everybody wants to talk about Joe Biden not being there all cognitively when he has a speech impediment, a stutter. Um, but I don't see a debate being very good for Trump at all. Yeah, I see him chickening out. Yeah, I think Slotkin will be a really good senator. Is Cory Booker up for reelection? I feel Cory Booker winning reelection clearance. Oh yeah, and Pete Buttigieg, he's fluent in 7 languages. Yeah, he's crazy smart. He would be an excellent candidate for Secretary of State. I definitely feel like there's energy around that. Yeah, you can't string two sentences together. Yeah. Are they backpedaling on the debate in June? Doesn't surprise me. I haven't heard of them trying to get out of it yet, but I see him coming up with some excuse. Ian, if there is a debate, if I was Biden, I would come out in a shark costume carrying a big battery. That's hilarious. Yeah, I didn't think Booker was up for re-election, Kelly. But I see Booker staying in the Senate for a while. Well, Fox suggested not to debate. Of course they did. John Ossoff, I don't think either of them are up for re-election. I do feel Georgia going a little bit more towards the Republicans than what it was in 2020. I'll be honest. But I do feel Warnock. I think he's got like a big legacy in the Senate. John Ossoff, though, I'm not sure when he's up for reelection. He may lose his seat. It may go red when he's up. But Warnock, I feel being in the Senate for a long time. Georgia feels a bit tough in 2024. I said that I feel like out of all the states that Biden won in 2020, I feel like he's going to keep them all except for possibly Georgia. But I feel like him making gains in North Carolina and being able to flip it. So Georgia just feels a little off to me in 2024. Oh, Kemp might be running as senator when his term's up. That's a good point, Valeria. I don't see MTG in the Senate. No. I said I feel Bober out after this term. Okay, people are saying Ossoff is up in 2026. Probably will be against Kemp. Yeah, maybe that's why I don't feel the best about Ossoff. All right, you guys, what else do you want me to read on? We're almost at an hour, so I'm probably going to wrap up here soon. But like I said, I will be on with Susan Lynn tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. And Mel should be on my channel on Thursday night at 8. Yes, I did talk about Hunter Biden. The first 10, 15 minutes of the show, we talked about Hunter Biden, of course. Anything on Hillary Clinton? I see her continuing to write. I don't see her running for any more elected office positions. I kind of feel like she's enjoying her downtime, spending time with family. Um, I don't see her like in a cabinet position or anything like that. I see her focusing more on writing and um, I mean, I think she definitely has projects in the work, but I know that she's been writing a lot of books and all of that. But I think her political career, I feel like she's retired from that. I do feel a lot of people voting. Absolutely, Darius. Absolutely, early voting too. Yeah, Chelsea may run for elected office at some point. I don't think right yet, but no, Hillary feels like I think she enjoys being retired. Spending time with her grandchildren. Um, I think she likes, I don't know, gardening, those kind of things. But she's also still going to, um, go out and campaign for Democrats and be active in that sense. But it's just not like it's a full time thing anymore. No, I don't see Mississippi going blue for Biden or RFK Jr. I'm sorry. Mississippi feels pretty red to me. New Hampshire, yes, I see it going blue, Phyllis. Yeah, I did hear that some of the Russian ships were going to Cuba. I'm not picking up on concern. It feels like it's um, more of like them trying to act big and tough. I mean, they've been doing a lot of activity around Alaska too, or they had in the past. But no, I'm not feeling anything to be concerned about. Ted Cruz very well could lose the seat. I feel Ted Cruz out, Yogi Bear. That's where I'm saying it feels like Texas feels like it's more in play. Florida and Georgia maybe still red, but I feel like that Senate race in Florida, I feel like it's going to be close. If I were to call it right now, I would say, unfortunately, I feel like Rick Scott's going to win, but I feel like that the female that's running against him, she's got a chance to win there. I kind of feel Florida staying, it may be coming a little bit more towards the center, but unfortunately, it feels like they're not the I have to be careful with what I say on YouTube, but I feel like there's a lot of interference with the voting in Florida. Texas doesn't feel like it's as bad as what it has been in the past, but it feels like Georgia, like there's something weird with the voting. You know, they're making it harder for people to vote, that kind of thing. I feel Alito being in trouble in the future, but I don't see him stepping down or recusing himself or resigning. He comes across very stubborn and um, it doesn't really care, to be honest with you. There's a sense of entitlement there, but I feel like more things being exposed about dark money in the Supreme Court and even the Republican Party coming out before the election. And it feels like investigations into him and some of the other justices in Biden's second term. Yes, Roe will be reinstated. Absolutely. Where's Comer? I'm sorry, you guys. Is Comer going to get reelected this year? What state is Comer in? If somebody could let me know. Kentucky. Thank you. It's going to be tighter than what he's used to, I think. He's anxious about it. Is there a female running against him or somebody that's a little bit younger? I feel like there's a younger person coming in, but it's a bit of a fight. I think whoever's running against him is really going to really connect and resonate. He might win re-election, but it may be his last one, is what I'm feeling. But it will be closer than what he's comfortable with. He's a bit anxious and nervous about it. I kind of pick up that he's going to get reelected, I'm sorry to say, but it will be much more competitive than what maybe he's used to. I kind of feel like he's probably in a pretty safe Republican district, but I'm not, like I said, I didn't even know where he was from. All right, you guys, I'm going to wrap it up there for today, but thank you all so much for stopping by and hanging out with me. And if I didn't answer your question today, like I said, I'll be on with Susan tomorrow, and Mel will be on my channel on Thursday night. So do me a favor, please hit that thumbs up, please subscribe. If you'd like a reading or a Reiki session or a combination of both, you can check out my website and book online at kevinlovingvibrations.com. All right, everyone. You all take care, and I will see you all tomorrow. All right, bye, everyone.